welcome back to the channel. My name is Brittany of BrittanyJJones.com. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I talk about sewing here on my channel. And in today's video, we're going to be sewing along to Simplicity 9953. And I'll be following along with View B. I do like that thinner strap, but I will say I do not have a finished border edge fabric. I have regular fabric, so I'm just going to do like a narrow hem on the hem of my top. For fabric, I'm going to be using this striped cotton poplin. I have this in my stash. This is old from Melanated Fabrics, and I have a whole bolt of this, so I figured this would be a great project to use some of this fabric on. As far as notions go, you will need some elastic for this top, as well as some lingerie strap sliders and rings. I got a pack of them here from, I think I got this from Walmart, or maybe this is old from Joann's. This may be old from Joann's, but I know you can definitely find them at Walmart as well as on Amazon or other craft stores you can find these at. This pattern is rated easy, and if you're not sure what that means on Simplicity's pattern rating level, there is very easy, easy, average, and advanced. Like I said, this one here is easy, so it's more of their second tier. It's great for a confident beginner and those that are ready to maybe pick up a new skill. It's not the easiest that they have though, so just keep that in mind if you are a brand new beginner. If you need help cutting out your pattern pieces, I'll link a video here as well as in the description box. That video covers how to lay out your fabric, cut everything out, and also how to transfer your markings from your paper onto the fabric. So check out that video if you're not quite sure how to do those things. Once you have everything cut out and marked, let's get started sewing. The first thing that we need to do is with right side spacing, we're going to place our front and back together and stitch along the side seams. If your fabric looks like mine and the wrong side and the right side looks just alike, I did place some X's on the wrong side, and now we can place them right sides together. You should have transferred a notch. We're going to match up our notches and pin in place there. Along the right side, we're going to pin all the way down. We will be stitching in 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Along the left side seam, you should have transferred 2 small dots. We need to leave the space between the dots open so that we can insert our elastic. So what we're going to do is pin at the dots, and we're going to begin stitching. We're going to stop at the first dot, back stitch, leave that space open, start back stitching at the second dot, and go all the way down in a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Once you have it sewn, your seam should look similar to this. Go ahead and press it open flat on the side where the small dot is. And I also added some basting stitches. That's just going to hold the seam allowance in place, so when we insert the elastic, it doesn't get stuck in between those side seams. I also put the basting stitch on the other side as well. Next, we're going to fold the upper edge over along the fold line. Now, I didn't mark out mine, so I just went ahead and grabbed the pattern and measured it out. You can transfer your marking onto the fabric if that's easier for you. But once you have your fold line, you want to fold that over and press. And then on the raw edge, you're going to press up 1/4 of an inch and then press it back over along the fold line like so. So I went to my ironing board. I love using this hot ruler right here because it has the measurements there, and it just makes it easier to fold everything in place. So go ahead and fold your upper edge along the fold line now. Once you have it folded, it should look similar to this. Now I'm going to add some pins here. This is optional, but I just want to make sure everything stays in place as I am sewing and nothing is shifting too much. So I'm just adding a couple pins. Again, this is optional. You do not have to do this. And once I have it pressed, I'm going to stitch close to that folded edge that we just pressed. And then once I have that stitch, I'm going to move up 1/2 inch from the stitch and then stitch all the way around again. So we're going to be doing 2 stitches along the upper edge. Again, the first one's going to be right along the edge, and then the second one's going to be 1/2 inch away from that first stitch. Let's go ahead to the sewing machine and stitch both of the stitches now. Now that we have it sewn, it should look similar to this. As you can see, I have my first stitch close to the edge, and the second stitch is 1/2 inch away from that stitch. If you do it correctly, and I know you will, you should be able to still have your opening visible and open for us to insert the elastic through. Let's go ahead and move on to working on the loops. For the loops, you should have cut 2. What we're going to do is fold it in half lengthwise with the right sides together, and we're going to stitch down the long edges in a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Go ahead and fold both now, and let's stitch them in place. Now that you have them stitched, go ahead and trim down your seam. I'm trimming mine about 1/4 of an inch down, and I'm going to take my loop turner here, and I'm going to use this to help flip the loops right sides out. And so what you do is you just pull it through, hook a piece to the end, and just kind of feed it back through the loop. I really enjoy using this little loop turner tool here. Once you have them both turned out, go ahead and give them a press. Once you have them pressed, go ahead and grab the rings and the sliders out of our lingerie kit. We're going to be using the rings first to go through the loops like I've done here. And there is a stitching line on the loop pattern piece. We're going to be following along with that stitching line, and we're also going to baste the raw edges of the loops together. So again, put it through the rings like so. We're going to stitch across at the stitching line and baste the raw edges. Now that we have the loop sewn and basted, I did finish off the raw edge of mine with my serger just so it's a finished edge once I pin it into the top. And so what we're going to do is working on the inside of the back, we're going to pin the loops to the upper edge of the back, matching the small dots. So again, along the inside of the back, you're going to match up your small dots and pin the loops in place. And then we can stitch following along with that 1/2 inch stitching line that we created. I'm actually going to stitch on both of mine just for a little extra security, but you only need to do it on the 1/2 inch stitching line. Here's a closer look at mine here, and as you can see, I stitched it on both of those previous stitches that we created. I just wanted that extra security. Now right here, I did want to look back at the pattern piece because I felt like the stitching line was a little bit lower than what the instructions were showing, but that is where the marking is, so that's where I made it. If you want to adjust yours, you can take it a little bit higher to the ring if you prefer. Next, we're going to start working on the straps, and we're going to do these the same exact way that we did the loops. We're going to fold it in half lengthwise, right sides facing, and stitch down the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Once you have it stitched, you want to go ahead and trim down your seam allowance and then grab your loop turner and then turn them right sides out. Again, we are repeating the same exact steps that we did for the loop. Once you have them turned right side out, you want to go ahead and give them a press. And then you want to grab the sliders from your lingerie strap kit. You're going to pull it through one of the openings and then take it over that bar, pull it through the other opening like so. So through one side, over the bar, down the other. Then you're going to take that same raw edge and slide it through your ring and then feed it back through the slider. So you're going to take it back through the first one that you first brought the strap through, over the bar, and then back down the second opening. It's a little tricky to explain that, but I hope it makes sense. Once you bring it through, then you will have your raw edge. I'm just going to fold under like 1/4 of an inch on the raw edge, and then you will put it back down onto the strap, and then you will stitch across to secure that in place. I'm going to place a pin in this just to hold it in place, and then I'm going to move on, do the same thing for the other strap. So again, you're going to bring it through the first side, you're going to go over the bracket in the center, take that same raw edge and bring it through the ring, bring it back up through that first opening, over the bar, and then pull it back through the other opening. You can bring it down then, and then I like to fold under just a little bit of that raw edge, place it down onto the strap, then I'm going to pin it in place and we're going to stitch really close to that edge. Now my fingers were all in the camera when I was trying to get this stitch because it really is a tight stitch to do, but this is just a close-up of what mine look like. You can see I stitched really close to that folded edge to secure that raw end to the strap, and then once you have that done, you will have a working slider and an adjustable strap. Once you have your strap done, it should look similar to this. And so now for the other end, as you can see, I did finish off that edge with my serger as well. And we're going to put that to the wrong side at the upper edge of the front, matching up the large dot on the wrong side in the front. So again, taking the remaining free edge of the strap, we're going to match that up to the large dot along the inside of the front, pin that in place, and I'm going to stitch mine the same exact way that I stitched the loops along the back. Let's go ahead and stitch it in place now. Once you have your straps secured on, it should look similar to this, and now we can start working on the hem. Now I decided I want to add the facing that's on view A to the bottom of my top, but if you do not want to do that, you can create a 5/8 of an inch narrow hem along the lower edge. So to do that, you can just fold under 1/4 of an inch and then fold over 3/8 of an inch again to create a narrow hem, and then you would just stitch close to that folded edge. Again, if you do not want to add the hem band that's on view A, just make a 5/8 of an inch narrow hem and stitch that in place and you'll be good to go. If you do want to add the hem band, go ahead and grab pattern piece number 5 and 6. That is the lower front and the lower back facing for view A. We're going to stitch the side seams together, matching up those notches. One thing I do want to make sure I note is that make sure that you have your notches facing in the same direction when you are pinning these together. So I have my double notches and my single notches facing the same way. So just double check that you have your notches facing in the same direction. Along the side seams, match up those notches, pin in place, and we will stitch the side seams using a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. So let's go ahead and stitch those in place now. Once you have it sewn, you want to press your seams open flat, and then you also want to press up 5/8 of an inch on the unnotched edge of the facing. So again, on the unnotched edge, press up 5/8 of an inch, and then with right sides facing, we're going to match up our facings to the lower edge of the top, matching up our side seams as well as our notches. So again, make sure you press up that 5/8 of an inch on the unnotched edge. The instructions do say to trim it down to 3/8 of an inch. I didn't trim mine, but you can trim yours. And then just continue pinning your raw edges together, matching up those notches along the lower edge of the top to the facing. Once you have it all pinned, then we can stitch using a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Let's go ahead and stitch it in place now. Now that you have it sewn, go ahead and trim down your seam allowance. I'm trimming my seam allowance to about 1/4 of an inch. So go ahead and trim yours. Once you have it trimmed, then we can do some understitching. With understitching, you want to have your seam allowance facing toward your facing, and then we're going to stitch really close to the seam, catching only the seam allowance and the facing, not the top. So let's go ahead and do some understitching now. Now that the understitching is done, you can see I've done mine here. You can press your facing toward the inside like so. And then I'm going to place some pins here just to hold it in place the same way that I did for the fold line along the top upper edge. Now you can baste this in place if you prefer, so you can check your seam and make sure everything is good before you do your permanent stitch. I'm just going to pin mine in place and then go ahead and stitch it. But once you have it pinned or basted, then we can stitch really close to that folded edge. Let's go ahead and do that now. All right, I have my hem facing stitched in place. Again, this is from view A. If you did not want to attach this, then yours would just be a narrow hem. But this is what it looks like along the inside. And so now we can go ahead and start working on the elastic. So you want to grab pattern piece number 8. This is the elastic guide, and you need 3/8 of an inch elastic. You're going to cut that for the size that you cut for your top. And I'm going to attach a safety pin to one end of the elastic. And I'm going to find our opening that we created along the upper edge of the top and start to feed my elastic through that opening. So again, once you have a safety pin attached to one side of your elastic, just start to feed it through that opening till you get all the elastic inside the casing. Once you have the elastic pulled through, this is a great time to try your top on before you secure it in place. But to secure it in place, you just want to remove your safety pin, and we're going to lap the ends of the elastic together. You do not want to put it like this so that they're side by side. You want to lap them over and then secure it in place. Once you have it secured, go ahead and distribute the elastic evenly within the casing. And then your top is just about done. If you want to add the tie, the little bow tie to the front, we can add that next. But if you don't want to add it, you're done with this top. But if you want to add it, let's go ahead and add it. Grabbing piece number 7, before we stitch it in place like we did for the loops and the straps, I'm actually going to fold under about 1/4 of an inch on both raw edges, and I'm just going to press that in place first. This is something that I like to do when I'm doing a tie like this. I feel like it gives it an even cleaner finish and easier to slip stitch. But once you have that pressed, you can go ahead and fold it in half lengthwise. We're going to stitch it in place in a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So let's go ahead and stitch it in place now. Once you have it stitched, go ahead and trim down your seam allowance, just like we did for the straps and for the loops. Trim it down, and then grab your loop turner and go ahead and flip it right sides out. Once you have it flipped out, go ahead and give it a press, and then you can slip stitch the ends together. I'll slip stitch mine off camera, but just make sure that you close up those openings with a quick slip stitch. Next, you want to grab your top, and on the front in the center, you should have transferred a small dot. That is where we're going to tack the bow tie to. So you want to go ahead and tie your bow, and then you want to tack it there. Now for me, I thought that the dot was a little bit lower. I wanted to be up a little higher. So I did move mine up a little bit, and I also decided to just tack down the center of the bow tie, not to actually tack the bow down completely. That's just what I prefer. If you want to tack down the full bow, then do that at that small dot. Go ahead and tie your bow if you decided to tack it down like I did, but again, you could have tacked yours down completely already tied. Once you have your bow tie complete, you are all done with this top, and you have just completed making Simplicity 9953. Well, that's all for the video, and I really do hope that you enjoyed making this top. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down for me below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Blessings, everyone. Bye.